Nearly 1 in 5 home deals across the Houston area fell through last month. Houston is now ranking among the top major metros in the country for rise in price reductions and contract fallout. And in several Houston suburbs with heavy new construction, especially in places like Cypress, Katy, and parts of Fort Bend County, we're seeing nearly half of active listings either reduce their sales price or offer concessions just to stay competitive. Now, my name is Travis Harris, and I've been here in the Houston real estate market for over 20 years. And today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be breaking down the current price cut spikes and where the concessions are the largest. So, whether you're buying or selling, this could actually save you tens of thousands of dollars. Now, first of all, price cuts are spiking, and here's something that people really just don't realize is that sellers aren't dropping their prices all at one time. They're kind of doing this quiet 3-step pattern that actually costs them thousands of dollars. So as of September of 2025, about 33% of active listings in Houston had a price reduction. So that's about 1 in 3 homes, but it gets a little even crazier in the suburbs. I mean, in North Houston areas with a ton of new home construction, places like Cypress, Tomball, Spring, the Woodlands, Conroe, Magnolia, and even down south in Fulshire, Missouri City, or even Richmond, resale homes are struggling to compete. And in Conroe alone, 47% of the listings have price reduction. Tomball is at about 37.6%, and Cypress is at about 33%. And these areas were booming just a couple of years ago. But here's the pattern that I'm seeing is that whenever a home is overpriced, most sellers do it in 3 small steps. The first reduction is at about 1% after about a few weeks of little activity. Second, the reduction is at another 1% when showings stay slow. And then the third reduction is a bigger cut, usually 2 to 3%, once they realize smaller drops aren't attracting those buyers. But wait until you see what builders are doing to compete with these resale homes. Their incentives that they're offering right now are pretty crazy. I'm going to be breaking that down here just a little bit in just a few minutes. But so let's say a home lists at like $600,000. That first cut is going to bring it down to about $594,000. The second cut will bring it down to $588,000, and then that third cut would be about $575,000, which is about a 2.2% reduction. But here's the deal: by the time you get to that third price cut, buyers start wondering what's wrong with the house. I mean, you've been on the market for probably weeks or even months, and people start to question whether or not something's really, if you got some kind of hidden issue. So this really matters, because timing your price cuts wrong could actually cost you way more than the actual reduction. And so for sellers, getting this right the first time means you have to capture the buyer's interest while your listing still feels fresh. I mean, for buyers, understanding this pattern helps you identify which sellers are actually truly motivated. And you know that this pricing pressure is really creating the exact environment where concessions have now become the new normal. And that's what's completely flipped from just a couple years ago. Sellers are now offering deals to close transactions. I mean, you can get interest rate buy downs, closing cost credits, inspection credits, appliance packages, and even HVAC credits. I mean, sellers are willing to negotiate practically everything right now. Just a couple years ago, sellers would have laughed you right out of the front door if you asked for any of this. And of course, here's why. It's because sellers are now terrified of going back on the market. I mean, once a house falls out of contract and goes back on the market, it's kind of like having a scarlet letter. I mean, sellers would rather give up a few thousand in concessions than the risk that that stigma. But I'm seeing sellers offer to cover inspection repairs right up front. I mean, they're throwing in like $5,000 to $10,000 of closing cost credits. Some are even offering to pay down the buyer's interest rates, which you can do that with closing costs. And that could help save the buyer, hundreds of dollars every single month. And by the way, with our buyers this year alone, we've averaged $10,000 under listing price and $20,000 in concessions, while not a single buyer has had to pay our commission. And you're going to want to keep that in mind when we start talking about the buyer strategies that we're going to be kind of coming up here in just a minute. So because of you want to know how to really stack these concessions with builder incentives could actually save you a lot of money. And if you think about it like this, 2 years ago, buyers were skipping inspections and offering $50,000 to even $100,000 over asking price just to compete. Now sellers are paying part of your mortgage just to get you closed. So it's really, really common right now to see seller concessions, especially for condos and new construction townhomes. But approximately 50% of all Houston home sales in 2025, including some form of seller concessions. And now we're seeing most sellers are now accepting contingencies, of course, like inspection, appraisal, and financing. And that's a complete 180-degree turnaround from the market just a couple of years ago when buyers had to waive just about everything just to compete. So this shift means that the leverage has moved entirely on the buyer side. And for buyers, this could be your opportunity to negotiate things you couldn't even touch just a couple of years ago. But for sellers, this is going to help you understand that concessions are now expected. It really helps you get your price strategy down from day one. And this type of willingness to deal is directly connected to how loans are sitting on the market, which is the next pressure point where we really need to talk about. And if you're curious about what this means for your specific situation, whether you're buying or just selling, just feel free to reach out. All of my information is below on the screen. I'd be glad to kind of walk you through it all. Now here's the stats that are making some sellers kind of sweat it out. I mean, homes are now taking a little bit longer to sell compared to the pandemic era. I mean, homes in the Houston metro are sitting on the market for a median of 60 days in Houston and about 53 days in Cypress right now. So that's about double the pandemic era pace when homes were, of course, selling at a much faster rate. But this kind of represents a massive jump from last year when Houston homes averaged at about 44 days on the market. And here's why this is happening. It's first of all, affordability. I mean, with interest rates still around 6 to 6.5%, buyers are being more cautious. Now, second of all, buyers are comparing resale homes to what builders are offering. And of course, the builders are coming in pretty hot with aggressive incentives. And then third, there's just a lot more choice. I mean, buyers don't really feel rushed anymore. But here's the best part for buyers. You're getting inspections again. And maybe you remember when everyone was just skipping inspections just to compete. And so that time is completely over. I mean, you can actually find out if the house has problems before you buy it. And really, that's how it really should always be. Now, for sellers, this extended time on market is tough to see. I mean, every week your home sits on the market, you're paying your mortgage, you've got utilities, you got HOA fees, insurance, and all while watching buyers walk through your house and then probably choose something else. So the bottom line of it is now the time is kind of against the seller and on the buyer side. And for sellers, every extra week, could cost you money and credibility. And so for buyers, this timeline kind of gives you the actual luxury of being able to be a lot more selective. And this time pressure is exactly why builders have become such a competitor now. Which brings us to our next challenge. And what if I told you that builders are offering interest rates with a full 2% lower than what you could get on your own? And that's the new reality that's also crushing resale listings. I mean, builders are offering permanent rate buys with interest rates as low as 3.99 to even 4.99%, well below the current market rates of about 6 to 6.5%. So on a $500,000 home, that difference could actually save a buyer $500 to $700 per month. But it doesn't stop there either. I mean, builders are also offering closing cost credits. I mean, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. They're throwing in free upgrades like high-end appliances. You get technology packages. You get smart home systems. You've got upgraded flooring. You've got better countertops. I mean, all of this stuff would normally cost anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 extra. And here's the thing. I mean, if you're a resale seller trying to compete with that, I mean, that puts you in a pretty tough spot. I mean, you can't offer a 3.5% interest rate. You don't have the margin typically to throw in $30,000 worth of upgrades. So you have to compete really on value, emotion, and price is probably the most important. I mean, buyers are walking into these model homes and they're seeing beautiful, brand new spaces with every upgrade imaginable, a locked in low interest rate. Then comparing that to your resale home with older appliances and a 6.5% mortgage rate. So resale homes in the same price point, you've got to beat on value or emotion, or you just have to price it under to compete. And that's just the reality right now. So the builder advantage means because it's fundamentally changed what competitive pricing really means for resale homes and for buyers. I mean, understanding what builders offer helps you negotiate with resale sellers. So for sellers, you just can't just price at the market anymore. You need to do something that the builders can't. And this type of competitive pressure is really showing up in the market data in some very concerning ways. And those warning signs aren't really subtle anymore. I mean, in late 2025, Houston is now tracking alongside some of the top major metros for rising contract fallout and price reduction. In fact, in several Houston suburbs, we're seeing even higher fallout pressure than the urban core, especially in the areas with heavy new construction and affordability strain. And currently, we're sitting at 5.4 months of inventory. And that's the highest level we've seen in just a couple of decades. And we're approaching that 6-month mark. That really defines a buyer's market right now, which is, as you know, very interesting to see. But these cancellations are happening because buyers are leveraging really their power right now to demand more from sellers. And when sellers aren't willing to meet those demands, buyers, well, they just can walk away. So we're seeing more expires and back on the market listings. We're seeing homes that tried to sell for 30, 60, or even 90 days, and they didn't get any traction. They're coming back on the market usually with lower prices and more concessions. And that fallout rate is up too. I mean, more deals are falling apart during the inspection and appraisal phase because the buyers have the power to walk away. And in some suburbs, it's even worse, especially areas with heavy new construction. Homes are now sitting well over 90 days, which is more than double what sellers were used to just a couple of years ago. So that's the big reality check for sellers in that area. And these signals actually matter because they tell you where the market is headed, not where it's been. And for buyers, high inventory and cancellation rates means you have negotiating power you haven't had in the last couple of years. And for sellers, these are warning signs. You really need to be aggressive with pricing and realistic about your concessions from day one. And really understanding these signals is essential for the buyer strategies that we're about to cover. All right, so here's my advice for buyers. If you want to know the move that's saving buyers $15,000 or more right now, it's a lot simpler than you think, but most people aren't doing it. So first of all, you want to shop resale versus builders head to head. And don't just assume that new construction is always better. Sometimes resale homes in established neighborhoods have bigger lots. They've got better locations sometimes, more mature trees, and a lot more character. But you have to compare that to the total cost of ownership, including that interest rate difference. Second, you should probably ask for everything. Seriously. Ask for rate buy down, ask for closing cost credits, ask for inspection credits, ask for repairs. We're getting our buyers again on an average of $10,000 under list price and an average of $20,000 in concessions on top of that. Plus, they don't have to pay our commissions. So if you're looking at new construction, you should also be asking what incentives they're offering. Sometimes they'll advertise a 2-1 buy down, but we might be able to get you a more permanent buy down versus just a temporary buy down. And of course, third, you can be patient. If the math doesn't work, walk away. With 5.5 months of inventory and homes sitting for 60, 70 days, you have time to think and compare. And then fourth, you can get a free inspection if you're serious about a property. Spending $400 or so on an inspection before you make an offer gives you a huge leverage. You will know exactly what's wrong with that property. You can ask the seller to fix it or actually credit you before you even go under contract, but you don't want to kind of do that too many times. Typically we do this once we go under contract, we do the inspection, then come back to negotiate that, okay? And fifth, possibly target homes that have been sitting for a little while on the market. If a home's been on the market for 50, 60, 70, or even 90 days, the seller's probably a little bit nervous right now. They're probably a lot more motivated, okay, than somebody who just listed. You could look also for price drops, and that matters because this window, I don't think it'll last forever for buyers. So this really has kind of been the best negotiating environment that we've had in the last couple years. And so these strategies work all across all price points. And now you know how to win as a buyer. I want to talk about what sellers need to do to actually get their home sold. All right, and here's the advice that I have for sellers. If you're still pricing based on what sold 6 months ago, you probably already lost. But here's the truth about what it really takes. First of all, you need to price it to win against the builder next door, not last year's comp. So I can't really stress that enough. Buyers are comparing your home to what builders are offering with 3 and a 4.5% interest rate and $30,000 worth of upgrades. So if your neighbor's house sold for $650 6 months ago, that might not work anymore. You've got to look at what's actively selling right now. Pricing is the number one strategy for sellers. And if you price it correctly, there are buyers in this market. We just priced a $2.7 million home, and we priced it correctly. We went under contract within about 3 days, and now that home is closing today, and as well as a matter of fact, okay? But as soon as you overprice it, then it's just gonna sit. Second of all, you should be front-load emotional upgrades. And I'm talking about paint, floors, lighting, hardware, curb appeal. A fresh coat of paint throughout. That could cost you $3,000 to $5,000, but it will make your home completely feel brand new. New light fixtures or even some new cabinet pulls. That could upgrade a kitchen tremendously. Pressure wash. Even if your house is dirty or dusty, you just never know. Clean the outside, plant some flowers, redo the landscaping. Make your home look great again. And third, you should actually get an inspection done on your home up front. That way you know what a buyer is going to find when they do their inspections, or it gives you that opportunity to fix some things that are incorrect, or you know what you need to budget for in terms of credits or to be willing to give that, okay? But that can also help build trust with the buyer, and that can help speed up the closing process as well. But getting an inspection done beforehand really lets you know what you're about to get into. And then fourth, if you have to chase the market with price cuts, drop it with purpose, right? Not 3 tiny little cuts. If you're overpriced and you know it, just rip the Band-Aid right off, right? And drop it enough to get people's attention. Multiple price cuts, small cuts, just kind of makes you look desperate. But fifth, you need to be flexible on concessions. If a buyer asks for closing costs, a rate buy down, or repair credits, you need to consider it. Those concessions might cost you a few thousands, but they beat the carrying cost and then the problems of going back on the market again. Now, I know this may be very hard to hear, but buyers seem like they're waiting 2.5% for 2.5% interest rates again. But sellers want 22 pricing and bidding wars of $50,000 over asking price, and that's just not happening anymore. Sellers who accept that and adjust their strategies are the ones who are getting their home sold right now. But this strategy matters because fighting the market costs you money every single day. The market rewards sellers who understand the new rules, and it punishes those who don't. And if whether you're buying or selling, having really expert guidance through this transaction really makes all the difference. So with price cuts spiking and contracts falling through, homes sitting twice as long, I mean, this is the best buyer market we've seen in years. And for sellers, the ones who adapt fast are the ones who are getting deals done. So if you're serious about making a move here to the Houston market, I mean, why wait? My team and I are tracking these market shifts every single day, and we know exactly which neighborhoods still have leverage and which ones are getting colder. But we've helped over, literally hundreds of families relocate here to Houston alone just within the last couple of years. And we're one of the best relocation specialists in all of Houston, Texas. So timing really does matter, and we can help you find a deal in any market, no matter what. So feel free to reach out. All of my information is listed right here below in the description or in the description. My team and I would be very happy to help you make that smooth move here to Houston. Be sure to subscribe and hit like on this video so that you never miss another upcoming video that we're doing here in the Houston market. So until next video, my friends, we hope to see you around town.